For over a century after the end of the American Civil War, this was a country of states united. In peace and prosperity, in hardship and strife, Americans were one people. Through the Industrial Age, the Great Depression, the Space Age, and the age of chain restaurant mini-malls. But by the end of the 20th century, a new national conflict emerged: the Culture War. It was a bitter struggle that pitted brother against brother, soccer mom against hockey mom, Brittany against Nora, and left the United States of America torn in half. The Culture War was fought from Brooklyn Heights to Boise, from Scranton to San Francisco. The casualties are impossible to tally. The war made some rich, ruined others, and changed forever the lives of all who lived through it.
I was sitting in the living room with my family watching NASCAR when suddenly this whole group of them burst in. They were drinking chai tea, and they tied us up with rope made of fair trade hemp, and they tuned the channel to PBS.
I was out in my Prius, out for a pleasant drive, and I turned this corner, and there was one of those mega churches with families swarming everywhere. I said to my life partner, "Be very quiet, they're all armed. Even the babies." They mobbed us. They tore apart our ironic t-shirts from Urban Outfitters. And they left us for dead.
I enlisted in the Culture War when I was a teenager, living in Chattanooga. And I was out, just huffing glue, shooting cats, like any normal kid. And they broke into my trailer home and killed my whole family. They force-fed my dad fusion cuisine until his stomach revolted. He didn't even take lettuce on his burger. I found him lying on the linoleum floor with a face full of edamame.
I was enlisted in a special task force. We did aroma warfare. It's kind of like aromatherapy, but, you know, the opposite. We hit a public pool in Wichita with a chamomile and pearberry bath bomb. All those children screaming. It was horrible.
Life in the trenches was not easy during the Great Culture War. Regular, small-town folks would struggle for days, even weeks, without access to pro wrestling or cheese puffs. Meanwhile, young urban professionals would scrounge for soy milk to put in their children's lattes.
It was awful. Militia groups would ambush our mailbox and steal our New Yorkers and our Restoration Hardware catalogs. We couldn't go see the new Woody Allen movie because we didn't know what David Denby thought of it.
Every night we'd sit around and tell stories of happier times to my 2 sons and 6 daughters. How we used to go to tractor pulls on weekends or go hunting in the nature preserves. Just last week, my daughter Brillo said to me, "Mama, what's a 4-point buck?" Tears just welled up in my eyes, 'cause I realized she ain't never shot one. She's 6 years old.
Yeah, with this culture war going on, you don't even know who your real friends are anymore. Everybody's wearing a trucker hat. You know, you might come up to somebody, you don't know who's wearing it for real and who's wearing it ironical.
While the primary front remained the internet, the battle spilled into the remote regions of talk radio and Toby Keith albums, until the two sides became so utterly opposed, it seemed the yawning gap between them could never be bridged.
I hate when you go into a sushi bar and they're playing like light FM. I mean, would it kill you to be a little authentic? I am paying for the experience. And sometimes the chef isn't even Japanese.
There's only two things in this whole world that matter: guns and God Almighty. Jesus said that.
Last time I pledged my local public radio station, I didn't get my tote bag. It really hurt. I'm an angel.
But in the face of such division and hatred, a new hope emerged. A rising tide of Americans called for the long and bitter culture war to end. But for those who lived for it, profited from it, and defined themselves by it, ending the culture war would be like America waving the white flag of surrender to itself.
It's amazing to me that some people don't even acknowledge that the culture war is going on. They're completely oblivious. I mean, look around you. If it wasn't real, how could all the news channels be talking about it?
How can we be worried about things like the economy or global warming or our jobs when the couple who moved in down the street have a poodle that looks French?
You know, I was going to vote on the issues, but with this culture war going on, I better vote for somebody who's just like me. Even if they are a total dumbass.
Sorry. Thank you. This isn't soy.